Hi there, welcome to my tutorial on finding the gradient of a straight line graph here. We've got two examples here, example 1, example 2, and what I'm going to do to these is I'm just going to find the gradient of this line. That's all I'm going to do, find the gradient of the line. So we've got this first one, we've got a line going up here in green. That line's got an equation, but we're not going to look at that. All I want to look at is finding how steep that line is. So if we take a point on this line, the point you need to look for is a point where the line actually crosses the corner of one of the squares. There's a point like that here. And what I'm going to try and do is make a right angle triangle between this point and another point higher up. So I'm looking for another point where it actually cuts the corner. This point here right at the top is where it cuts the corner. And I'm going to form a right angle triangle between these 2 points. So I come out from this point here until I'm directly underneath the other point that I identified up the top there. I'm then going to go up the page like this to form my right angled triangle. Here's my right angle, here's my triangle here. Now to work out the gradient, the steepness of this line, we need to divide the height by the width or the base of this triangle here. So I need to find out what the difference is between my two y coordinates. The difference in y is going to be, well, this one's 7 here and my other one is -5. So if we find the difference between those two, we get 12. Let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. The difference in y is 12. So our gradient, which we're going to call m, is going to equal 12 divided by whatever the difference in the base in the x coordinates is, the base. So if we have a look here, this x coordinate is on -2 and this one is on +2. So we've got a difference here of 4. We see here difference of 12, difference on the base of 4. And to find the gradient, we do the difference in y values divided by the difference in the x values. So it's going to be 12 divided by 4, which gives us our gradient of 3. So m equals 3 on this graph here. So have a look at the second example now. Clearly this is going downwards. So we're going to have a negative gradient this time. But the procedure is the same. We're going to look to find a triangle that we could make, a right angled triangle. I've got a point here that is directly on the corner. I'm going to look again down my graph here. I've got the point here. I know that's directly on the corner, it cuts the axis, and I'm going to form my right angled triangle again. So if I go up the page here to that point, you can see there's my right angle, here's my triangle. Let's look at the values that we've got. We've got a y value here of 5 and we've got a y value here of -3. So the difference in this is 8. So we're going to say our gradient is the difference in the y values, which is 8, divided by the difference in the x values. Well, I've got one x value at 0 and the other one here is at -4. So I've got a difference here of 4, -4. Now we know that it's sloping downwards, so the difference in the x values this time is actually a negative. So if we simplify that, because we can simplify -8/4, we're going to get -2 as our gradient. Have a look at these two graphs. The first one you can see is sloping upwards, it has a positive gradient. The second one, because it's sloping downwards, has a negative gradient.